Welcome back, Albion Onliners. My name is Neveduk, and this is another tips and tricks video. I'm going to go over some strategies to making silver in the game. The main thing I want to stress is you've got to understand what you're doing and how to get there. Just to give you an idea, when I think of the market and how to sell things, logic to me would mean that your resources cost a little bit less than your refined materials. Your refined materials cost a little bit less than the final item, so there would be like a production cost like in the real world. This isn't necessarily how that works. Right now, a lot of times your refined resources cost a little bit more than your gathered resources. And then the item, a lot of times, because everybody's trying to level up their fame, the item isn't worth hardly anything. Let me give you some examples. So we're going to come here and we're going to look up, let's see, armor. Look up armor. We're going to go to tier 4. This is where the bulk of people are crafting right now. So this is why it's not worth that much. 350 silver. Let me write that down. 350 silver for these adept boots. These adept boots cost 8 steel bars. So let's type in steel bars. Eight steel bars are going to cost you. So the finished product will cost 350 silver. It's going to cost you almost 770 silver to actually make it. And that's not including having to pay to use somebody's station, or if you have your own, you don't get as many resources back. So you got to deal with that. So this is the wonky economy we have. As people get higher level and people are not mass producing these lower level stuff to get to the next level, the prices will be more logical, but just right now it's ridiculous. Let's go into something else. Let's look at fulls. Okay, for tier 3 full, it costs 2,099 silver, and I'm going to show you something that I created right here. So I created a master crafting list. So right now the fulls, which are tier 3, cost 2,099 silver. You can buy it right here from the vendor on your island for 12,500. So that's a good price to buy the fulls at. But let's keep looking at the situation. What happens when they're raised? When they're raised, they're selling for 100. Wait, hold on a second. Did I do that right? Yeah, okay. And they're selling for 148 silver. So we go back to our chart. Tier 3 horses are selling for 148. So why would you buy the full, raise it, when you could buy the horse for less? There's a few reasons why you buy the full, but the horse is the way to go if you're going to make a tier 3 horse. The next part is you want to look at how much does it cost to get leather. So we're going to go to leather. We go to tier 3, and it costs. We need 20 leather to make a horse. It costs 1820. So we're going to plug that into our thing as well. So tier 3 leather, 1820. Okay. So now we know it's going to cost us 148. Cost us 148 silver for the tier 3 horse. It's going to cost us 118.20 for the leather. So we're going to spend, to craft this horse, if you have your own crafting station, it'll be 1968. Okay, so let's see what the riding horse sells for. 1843. So you are going to have a negative 1843. You're going to lose 23 silver if you go this route to make the horse. Now, if you were to cut out this right here, you'd have a pretty good profit. So if you went out and gathered your tier 3 leather, you'd make close to 2k. You'd make your silver back. But in the end, you might as well just keep your horses and just sell the straight leather. So that'd be your best bet. So I created this little tool here So whatever you're making, you plug in the cost of all of it right here. And then if you're making several things, you can do that. You can annotate up above what you're trying to make and what goes in it. But basically what you'll do is you'll plug in the cost of everything, and then it'll give you a final number on each item, and then it'll also give you a final number for everything. If you're trying to make like 3 or 4 things and fit it into a specific budget, you can use this right here. Over here you have, so over here, what was it? 1948 was the cost of a tier 3 riding horse. So you can put that there so you can remember that. You can remember all these costs. So you kind of just fill out everything you want, and then you come over here, you see that it takes 20 tier 3 leather to make 1 riding horse. It takes 20 tier 4 leather and tier 3 hide, which essentially needs oh yeah, so that's how you get the tier, if you want to break down the cost even farther. So if you want to see if you can make the tier 3 leather, what it costs to make the tier 3 leather, you can just keep breaking it down. And so that's kind of did a little bit, some quick equations that I end up looking up every time, so I just figured I'd put those out there. And then you have all your different things right here. And so the resources, these are the unsaddled animals right here. And then here's the vendor costs for the animals themselves. So say you want to start getting into tier 5 mounts, you can look here and it says 112.5 silver. So we're going to go to horse. No, wait, full. The baby one. And we're going to go to tier 5. So right now this is less expensive than buying it at the vendor. Not by much, but a little bit. Let's see what the tier 6 looks like. Tier 6 is 330,000 for that. Let's see. So tier 6, 337. So you're going to save 7K, which, I mean, it's not a lot, but every little bit counts when you're getting up into those higher prices. So I made this little tool here so you can start evaluating the whole cost. So as you can see right now, there's no sense in crafting the horses because you'll lose like 48 like what was it, 48 silver or 28 silver or whatever it was we figured out just a minute ago. You're better off just farming the leather, processing the leather, and selling it. You can also break down the leather and see if it's better to sell it in just the raw form and stuff like that. So you just don't assume that your end goal of whatever you're making is going to be the best way to go, because everybody's making their things and they're making them, and then in the end they're doing it for the fame. So that means they're raising the animals for the fame, and if that's where they stop, they're throwing them on the auction house, and then they're raising the they're crafting things for fame. So the market's just really flooded with all that stuff. That will change sooner or later, but it's not there now. Let's just see how much a horse. So yeah, so you can pay 330K for a master horse, or you can pay 28K for one. And I'm actually going to buy one here. So I'm going to buy this horse. And then now let's see how much it costs to get tier 6 leather. So we need 20 leather. Okay, so what did we buy the horse for? We bought the horse for 28,996. That was tier 6. Okay. 28,996. Take that horse. We're gonna buy the leather. Okay, we need 20 stack of leather. So it's gonna cost me 53. Alright, so let me go here. Tier 5 leather. T3, what was it, 53? I'll just round it off because I don't remember what the exact number is. So 28,996, 53. So right now we're 81,000 in on this mount. What do they even sell for? Let's find out. They sell for 85. So we've essentially broken even. Well, we're a little bit better, but in the end, it's going to cost a little bit to craft it. So let's just say we broke even instead of buying that mount, which isn't bad. But that's the problem with right now. If you carry everything out to the end goal, unless you're getting fame, you're probably going to come close to breaking even, is kind of how the math is working. So find what step in the process is broken down that's not working as far as the number scaling, and that's where you want to sell stuff. And right now, sweat equity is your best bet. Go out, spend an hour, gather a bunch of stuff, and sell it. For instance, I went out and spent an hour and a half gathering tier 3 and tier 2 leather or hide, and I ended up selling the raw materials for just an hour and a half for about 200K. I used a T6 food and all leather skinning gathering gear, and that's all I went out was just tunnel vision and gathered, and that was a decent haul for an hour and a half. I mean, that would set you up. I mean, does that even get you premium right now? So it won't even get you. That won't even get you premium at an hour and a half. But if I did that for 2 or 3 hours, I probably would. So I mean, you just gotta be smart. Get out there and kind of figure it out. And yeah, that's what you got to do. So I'm gonna link this spreadsheet, make it public, so you can copy it and then use it for yourself. And if I've also got a few other things on there. So I've got mounts, I've got food, and I've got alchemy. These are the ones that are coming close to breaking even. All your armor and stuff, you might as well, right now you might as well just buy. There's no sense. I would not say there's any real sense unless you're at the very, very top echelons of crafting. Same with anything. You're not going to make all that huge silver unless you're crafting the very high-end stuff, and right now people are pushing tier 7 and tier 8. So unless you're up there, you might as well just kind of sit where you're sitting and go from there. Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this tool helps you out a little bit, and this is Neverduck, and I am out.